Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Chef Jim Bob. This week we will be cooking a Philadelphia Eagles inspired dinner or snack, Philly cheesesteak sliders. But before we get to any of that, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video for your family members, whoever else that you may want to share it out to. It helps my brother and your good friend Jimbo as far as King get more subscribers, help them get monetized. I will also have their merch store down in the description, as well as their donation station if you want to help out that way as well. So, getting into this dinner here, the ingredients, as far as the ingredients go, I got a sirloin steak here. You could probably use any type of steak you want, just that this one's a little bit cheaper than what they call out for. Unsalted butter, fresh parsley, 1 clove of garlic, kosher salt, black pepper, vegetable oil. You're going to need an onion and a green bell pepper. We are going to be using the mini Hawaiian rolls as far as the bun part of it, and mayo and either American cheese or provolone cheese. I have provolone because, again, it's Philadelphia. So right now I have the oven preheated at 350, so you want to make sure your oven's preheated at 350. The first step that you want to do is cut up the steak. I would say this is a preference if you want them just in slices or in chunks. Either way, you want to make sure they're thinly sliced so they are easy to chew and cook as well. So we're going to start slicing these about 3/4 of an inch thick, 1/2 inch to 3/4, whichever, again, you prefer. I got the more of a 1/2 inch than anything. And again, I mean, I'll probably cut these slices in half, so that way make it a little bit more enjoyable to eat. Maybe for Father's Day I could get new knives to cut meat, since this one's kind of dull. Try not to cut my finger here. Now I'm just going to cut these in half, make them a little bit easier to cook and easier to place on the Hawaiian rolls. And if you caught this past week's episode with the boys, so you see we're not doing Stefan Diggs here of having a pink bag of some substance, we'll call it, in it. There'll be none of that going on here. Alright, so that's done there. Now, next thing you want to do is, in a small bowl, you want to put your 2 tablespoons of butter, a tablespoon of fresh parsley, but I'm using parsley flakes. Tablespoon. Oh, actually, first, before I do that, we have to melt the butter. You gotta make sure you melt the butter. About 30 seconds with that. Okay, so we got the butter melted here. So we're going to do a tablespoon of parsley flakes. Um, 1 clove of garlic, but I usually use the minced garlic that you can get at the store. I usually go for 1 clove of garlic minced is usually like 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Then you're going to need a pinch of kosher salt. So I guess that's more of a preference of how much a pinch is. And a pinch of pepper. I'm just going to do the same thing. So right about like that. And then you want to mix it. You could either mix it in a little Tupperware like I did here, or in a mixing bowl, whichever is easier. Then the next thing you're going to do, you want to get a large skillet. Sorry for all the noise. You want to turn your heat on to a high medium, and then use 2 tablespoons of your vegetable oil. I'm actually going to grab a plate here for all this meat here, because now I got to cut up the onion and peppers. Let's throw this away. You want to cut the peppers first because they cook the longest, take the longest to cook. Make sure you take all the seeds out. And then slice these in strips. I usually cut them in strips and then cut these in half as well. Then we're going to cut these in, like I said, cut these in half. You don't have to, but you can. Now we're going to check our oil. Looks like our oil is ready to go. So you just put those in there. Let those start frying up. Now we'll cut our onions. We'll do the same thing. And honestly, the peppers and onions are optional. I know King is not a big fan of peppers. These I'm just going to slice. I'm not going to cut in half. So when you're going to put them in the frying pan, you break them apart. And a nice thing to have, if you have one, is an oil splatter. So cover the pan up with that. Cook a little bit. Actually, we'll kind of mix them around a little bit. And then you're going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper to the peppers and onions. Helps, gives it a little bit of flavor. Then you want to cook them until the onions are kind of starting to turn like a little golden color to it, about 8 to 10 minutes. And then when they're done, you're actually going to transfer them to a plate. Okay, so we got the onions and peppers fried up. You want to put them, like I said, on a separate plate from off to the side. In that same skillet, you are going to add your meat now. Still at the medium-high heat. And also add one more tablespoon of vegetable oil. And you're also going to add some more pepper and salt to the steak. Just like a pinch. No exact measurement. You give it a little bit of a stir. put your little grease splatter cover back on top of it. And you're going to cook that for about 5 minutes or so, stirring it a little bit here and there until all the steak is pretty brown. Okay, so now we are going to add the vegetables, the onions and peppers, back into with the steak, into the skillet here. And all you're going to do is just kind of mix it around to get it warmed back up. Just a couple minutes. That should be good enough, so you want to remove that from the heat. Alright, next thing you're going to do is grab a baking sheet. Whether it's non-sticking or not, I always spray it down anyways just to make sure nothing sticks to it. And you're going to take your Hawaiian rolls here. And you're going to cut them right in half as they're all together still. It's a lot easier to do it that way. Just do your best to cut them in half so that way when you put the meat and the peppers and the cheese, one side isn't soggier than the other, or that's equal. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the tops and put the bottom onto the baking sheet here. And again, do your best to keep them still connected. It's a lot easier to construct when they're still together like this. So after you put them on the baking sheet here, you're going to grab your mayonnaise. Again, this is a optional thing because I think some people don't like mayonnaise on their Philly cheesesteaks, which I don't understand. Now I know there's going to probably be a comment in the section by somebody that why are you using provolone? It's supposed to be whiz, cheese whiz, and all that other stuff because it's a cheesesteak. I don't think whiz will work with this. I think it'll slide right off. You could try it, but I'm using provolone. Once you get the mayonnaise on there, you're going to put the steak, peppers, and onions on now. You just put it on, and you can always sort them out to make it more even looking once you get it all on there. just like so. That one needs a pepper right there. Once you have your steak, peppers, and onions on there, time to top with the cheese. So like I said, I'm using provolone cheese. You could use probably whatever cheese you want, but it's a Philly cheesesteak, so we're using provolone. So you want to put cheese on the whole thing. Now I'm putting a little bit extra because the first 3 slices were thinly sliced, so want to make sure they're kind of equal with cheese. So that's that part of it. Then you are going to put the tops on, like so. Push down a little bit. You want to grab a brush or whatever you have as far as being able to brush on your butter, parsley, and garlic mixture here. Make sure you get it good because this will make them golden and not burnt. And also gives, again, a little bit of flavor. Make sure you get them pretty good here. Just like so. Then once you have all that brushed on there, you're going to bake the sliders for about 10 to 12 minutes. I usually always go 10 minutes. Always go to lowest because you always could bake longer. You can't take away baking. So we're going to put this in there for about 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I just pulled them out of the oven. I actually went 2 more minutes longer, so 12 minutes total. And this is the final product. Now it's time to eat. Just want to thank everybody for watching. If you guys could click the like button, share with all your friends, family, enemies, don't matter. And click the notification button so that way when these videos come on, you get the notification that, hey, there's a new video, King and Jimbo talking sports, or Chef Jim Bob cooking food. So one last thing, down in the descriptions, like I said at the beginning of the show, I have the links to Your Good Friend Jimbo and King's merch store. They have a new Eagles shirt there, about the tush push. I think Jimbo just bought that one. He should be waiting for that to come in, as well as their donation station. So till next time, this is Chef Jim Bob. See you later.